Welcome to Tech Tip Daily. Today I'll be giving you guys a few tips and tricks to utilize ChatGPT to its utmost potential. So to begin, simply open up your browser and go to chat.openai.com, which is the official ChatGPT website, and then go ahead and follow the login process to access your free account. So to begin, one of the easiest tricks you can utilize while using ChatGPT is to simply use your keyboard shortcuts to save time and, search for things and utilize it much faster. So to access the keyboard shortcuts and to see which ones are available to you, simply press the Control button and the /. Do so while in a chat and make sure you click there and then press it and you'll see it pop up. Then you'll see all the different type of keyboard shortcuts you can utilize while using ChatGPT, and this will speed up your process and how fast you can go ahead and type and do certain things while utilizing keyboard shortcuts. As you can see here, you can open new chat, focus chat input, copy last code block, set custom instructions, show shortcuts, delete chat, or toggle the sidebar. That really helps people maneuver through ChatGPT a lot quicker. Another tip I can give you guys that would help you use your ChatGPT in a lot better way would be to go up here and click to personalize. Now when you enter the customized ChatGPT, you can ask it to call you something specific outside of your username. You can tell it what you do, which will help it organize its thoughts when speaking to you, and what traits should ChatGPT have. Now when you do this, you can basically state certain things that you'd want it to basically possess when responding to you. That way it won't do certain things. So if you want it to respond as if it's a Gen Z, if you want it to respond poetic, you want it to be more concise, you can basically type in whatever you want and give it somewhat of a direction as to how it'll be responding to you. That way it won't be just the default ChatGPT that we're dealing with. You can also scroll down and see anything else ChatGPT should know about you. You provide an in-depth idea about who you are and your background if you'd like it to know that, and then it'll keep that into account when basically responding to you in the future. So, as I said here, what traits should ChatGPT have? Let's say you don't want it to be giving you disclaimers 24/7, or you don't want it to be, for instance, constantly warning you about precautions, or giving you too in-depth of responses. You can ask it to be concise and avoid mentioning disclaimers. And then it'll basically do its best to do that. You can also go to Advanced and click off any of these that you'd want to be included as well. So this helps you basically utilize ChatGPT in a cleaner fashion, in a customized way, completely to the way that you would personally want it to be responding. Another interesting tip I can give you guys is that if you were basically having ChatGPT for a while and utilizing it for a while, you probably have a lot of chats that are saved on the left. And in the case that you want to go back and find something specific and you don't want to go scrolling through all of it, you can simply go to search chats and type in what you were looking for. So for instance, let's type Biden and see if we have. See, we have our Joe Biden mullet request and the other one that we did, which it's nothing, too crazy because we didn't do too many, but you can go ahead and click it and it'll bring you to your previous chat that has that topic that we were requesting. So simply go to chats, search chats, and type in the topic that you were interested in. For instance, you can also utilize the one that we did here where it gives you space, and we go back to the only chat that we had where it was asking if space is real. So if you ever get lost and you want to find a previous chat, you simply go to search the topic that you're looking for, and you'll be able to find it in your previous chats if you did not delete them. Yet another interesting tip I can provide you guys with is that you can, if you have too much chats open here or clogging up your space and you don't want it to be in your chat memory anymore, instead of simply deleting it and losing it, you can go and click on the 3 dots next to it and go to archive. So let's say the space explained simply, we'll go ahead and archive it, and then you'll see that it is removed from the chat window here, and it is completely gone. However, it is not deleted, it was archived, and you can always refer back to it if you need to. So if you wanted to go back and find your archived chat, all you'd simply do is click on your profile picture up top, go to settings, and from there you'll see archive chats. You can also click archive all chats if you wanted to, or just delete them all if you wanted to completely start a clean slate. Well, let's say you wanted to refer back to an old archived chat, you can go ahead and click manage, and you'll see it right there, the one that we just archived. I'm pretty sure that you'd also be capable of utilizing the search still, because it is archived, it's not deleted. You can refer to the search chats and you'll type in the topic that you were searching for, and you'd be able to find the same archived chat right here. So by simply archiving them, it'll clean up your chat history and still keep them in the case you want to refer back to them in the future. Another really interesting feature that you can utilize on ChatGPT that a lot of people overlook is you can go to voice mode right here. You can click that, and you can basically, once enabling your microphone, have a conversation directly with ChatGPT. That would also be responding to you in voice, as opposed to just using the microphone to dictate your conversation. If you were using the dictate option, you'd be basically speaking to ChatGPT, and it would be able to respond to you in text as it normally does. However, with the voice mode, you'll actually be having a conversation with the AI itself. Now, when you do this, it'll have a basic default voice. If you don't like that voice, you can go ahead and click on your profile picture up here, go to Settings, go to Speech, and then you can go ahead and select the voice that you would want it to be under the voice section here. See, right now it is under Veil.
Hello, it's lovely to meet you. If there's anything you need, please don't hesitate to let me know.
And that's the voice that we currently have. If we wanted to switch it to, let's say, Juniper, we can press play and see what Juniper sounds like.
Hey there. I've got a really great feeling about us teaming up.
And you can basically go through all the different voices, test them out, and pick which one you want, and that one will be the one responding to you in the speech mode. You can also use the language in which it responds to you in. It might auto-detect. If you're speaking English, it would auto-detect that you're speaking in English. However, if you want to switch it to something more specific, you can also do that. So speech mode is another little tip or trick that a lot of people overlook on ChatGPT that might help you, utilize it quicker. Another interesting tool that you can utilize ChatGPT for is basically just uploading documents. Now, a lot of people understand that you can upload files and documents to ChatGPT, but what they don't realize is that you can actually have it do a full data analysis on it. So in the case that you're doing something, for instance, for school, or if you want to do your own accounting, you can upload a file, an Excel file, or some sort of graph, or anything that you're utilizing, and ask it to analyze it. Then, shortly after, ChatGPT will go into a data analysis mode and truly analyze the data, and you can ask it whatever questions you want regarding that data set. You can also ask it to create new graphs for you, and you can ask it to basically summarize whatever amount of information. For instance, if you had a list of buys and sells in a current year, you can ask it to run through all the buys and sells and calculate your total profit or loss in a given year. So you just simply do that by clicking here and adding a photo and or file, and you would basically select the file that you are looking for in this case to be analyzed. So you can ask it to analyze a photo, like just any photo, whatever it is, or you can actually upload an Excel file and ask it to analyze the data, and then you can follow up with questions regarding that specific data set. Another interesting tip or trick that a lot of people overlook on ChatGPT is that you can go here and click Tools. When clicking Tools, you can go ahead and click Write or Code. Now, when you're doing Write or Code and you have the Canvas mode on, what it's going to do is basically analyze what you're writing or coding, and then you can ask it for tips or tricks or suggestions to basically analyze what it is you're writing. If you're writing a script, for instance, you can ask it questions to help you basically improve the script or make sure that it's as concise as possible, or that it makes sense, or that if you want to ask, for instance, to add some sort of additional maybe metaphors or something into your script, they can help you do that. And if you're writing or coding, for instance, if you're writing code and you're worried that you maybe made a mistake, you can basically analyze your code while you write it and help you basically see if you made any mistakes on the way. So Canvas is very useful for script writing and coding. In the same light, another thing you can do while using ChatGPT that can help you depending on your topic of interest is to go to GPTs over here. A lot of people just use ChatGPT at default, but they don't realize that there are separate GPTs you can utilize. So you click GPTs, and you can go ahead and explore the different GPTs that focus on separate topics. So for instance, if you wanted a GPT that focuses, let's say, on fitness, workout, and diet, you'd be better off clicking something like this as opposed to just using the default, because this one is basically programmed and trained to be an expert in that field. For instance, if you're utilizing something for academic purposes, Scholar GPT would probably be best. As you can see, it says enhanced research with 200 million plus resources and built-in critical reading skills. So things like this, you can basically go through all the different ChatGPTs and find your focus that you're trying to, your topic that you're trying to focus on. So even if you wanted to go down, this one could code, Copilot, code smarter, build faster. This one would probably be great if you were doing coding as opposed to just using the Canvas mode we mentioned earlier. So you can go through it and find whichever one fits what you're trying to do with ChatGPT. Now, another interesting tip I can give you regarding ChatGPT is the memory mode. We all know that it memorizes certain things about you. However, we don't know exactly what specifically is fully memorized when you are utilizing ChatGPT. You know, from past conversations, it could remember certain topics or certain things that you've given it to basically respond as. However, if you're not sure, what you can do is you can go to the top right on your profile, go to Settings, scroll down to Personalization, and then we're in the Memory section. So here you can see Reference Saved Memories. So now it'll utilize all the past conversations you've had with it to respond to you, taking into account the things that you said to it. If you turn that off, your memories are pretty much gone, and it'll be as if you're having a new chat every single time. However, if there's certain memories that it has that you want to verify and see if it actually has them, or if you don't want them to include it anymore, you can go to Manage Memories. You'll click Manage Memories, and as we can see here in one of our previous videos, we prompted ChatGPT to respond as a professional fitness YouTuber and to help us learn how to become one. So we asked, and it basically saves and remembers, wants responses in the style of a professional fitness YouTuber and wants to learn how to become one. So now, since that's no longer relevant to us, I'll go ahead and remove that. We'll forget that. And then you can also click Delete All if you had multiple that you wanted it to remove. However, in this case, we are starting on a clean slate, and it won't remember that topic when we're going into new chats. So you can utilize memory mode by either turning it off. You can also turn off just reference chat history, but you can clean it up by simply going to Manage Memories, which is very helpful if you wanted to clean up your future chats with ChatGPT. And finally, the last little tip I'll give you, that if you don't want to have certain chats memorized and you want it to be something more private, or if you're discussing something more personal, the best thing you can do is simply go up here and turn on temporary chat, and you can have a conversation string or a chat thread with it. And the only thing that'll be saved is that they might keep it just for safety precautions for 30 days, but this is ideal if you're discussing something that is more personal in nature or more private in nature, because it won't appear in your history, use or update ChatGPT's memory. It'll basically be deleted afterwards, other than for safety purposes in their database. So you can go ahead and just turn that on when you want to discuss something more private. And if you don't want to discuss something more private, you want to just utilize it normally again, you simply just turn it off and you're back to your regular ChatGPT. Hopefully I helped you guys out today and you learned some things about ChatGPT you did not know. If you enjoyed the content, please like and subscribe, and have a nice day.